It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show.
Welcome to the best show that you'll ever know. It's the Dep Lewis Show, and it is episode 54. This is your host, Dep Lewis, and today is Sunday, October 29th, 2023. Welcome to the show about video games and much more. I took a bye last week, like the official team of the official NFL team of the Dep Lewis Show, the Carolina Panthers. We both took a bye last week, so my apologies for missing the podcast, but just wanted to take a break. You know, the Panthers were on a bye. The Atlanta Braves season has ended, and I've done a year of podcasts, so I was like, hey, this is a great time to take a break, regroup a little bit, and get back to it for this episode today. So, thank you for bearing with me during the break. I'm going to do those from time to time, probably not too often, but at least one a year is probably something to plan for, and if I just need to for another occasion. But I miss doing the podcast. I got a lot of good news and information for you today, and video game thoughts. So welcome back myself. I'm welcoming back myself to the show. Welcome back to the Dep Lewis Show, episode 54. So going to be a great show today. Hope you've been doing well out there. There's a million games to play, a million things going on. There's sports and all such sorts of things going on in the world that we're going to talk about in this podcast today. So just get ready for it. All right, let's get down to business. I'm going to tell you some things to do that help the show even more than just listening. Follow Dep Lewis Show everywhere. Like, subscribe, rate, comment, review, turn on notifications, tell a friend. Email any questions or feedback to DepLewisShow@gmail.com. Full episodes of Dep Lewis Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, YouTube, Patreon, and more on my Buzzsprout page. So basically anywhere podcasts are available, you can listen to this wonderful show. And then clips are on YouTube and TikTok. Twitch.tv/DepLewisShow is a great place to follow. I've been doing some more streaming. Still not on a schedule yet for it, but I've been hitting the broadcast/stream more often when I'm playing games, so I would expect that to continue. And then Patreon.com/DepLewisShow is the best place to follow, and we'll talk about that more at the end of the show. So let's see here. Talk about the show structure for today. So we have our 3 sections, as always. The first section is going to be what I've been playing, so what video games I've been playing since I last talked to you. In the mid-section, we're going to smoke on some mid, and we're going to talk about video game news, all the things I've been seeing across the video game world, across the video game landscape. We're going to talk about that in the mid-section, so I think I have a lot of new releases to talk about, a few updates, and a fest of some kind is going on I want to talk about. So the mid-section's got a good bit of info, and then in the third section, the miscellaneous talk section, that's where I can talk about anything outside of video games, and we're going to talk about some sports today. So we have a couple different teams to talk about in that section, and it's going to be great. So welcome to the show, and that's it. Got a lot of video games to talk about, so I just want to say welcome. All right, a note from last show. So it's been 2 weeks since I talked to you, but a note from last show. I just want to clarify that I Am 8-Bit and Limited Run Games are both different sites and have different sets of products you can buy and all very cool stuff. So go check out those websites. I sometimes get those two confused in my head of which one is which. I still do a little bit, but I am sure that these are 2 different websites. I checked that out. So please go check out their websites. If you have some extra cash you want to spend, it's definitely a good thing to go check out their websites because they have a lot of cool stuff on there. A lot of, they have some physical editions of games that don't get a physical release. So a lot of like digital Switch games, you can get a physical copy of them through these sites and things like that, and cool collector's editions and all sorts of video game greatness. So go check out I Am 8-Bit and Limited Run Games. And the last reminder for me in this first section is just a note for improving my podcasting. I want to watch my ands and my ums and my mic noises. I got to do better. I want to slow down in general. It's probably good advice and good reminder to do again, if no other note. So I'm going to do that reminder just to set the tone for myself at the beginning of this podcast. To hopefully have a wonderful Dep Lewis Show, episode 54, back from a break. Took a bye week. And, coming out of the bye, the teams should be well rested. They should be well rested and prepared. They should have all the information they need to go execute the game plan on Sunday. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to execute the game plan. So let's get into it. So the what I've been playing section. What video games have I been playing since I last talked to you? I finished Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart recently. So that's the first game I've completed in 2 years, I think it was. So, I'm on a hot streak now. And I'm trying to work towards completing some new games. But there is a new game that came out that I'm working hard towards completing, and I'm making some great progress. And it's the star of the show today for video games. It's a possible... this game is going to be on the... Here's a spoiler. It's going to be on the Dep Lewis Show Game of the Year list for 2023, it could possibly be at the top of the list. That's the hyperbole of the day, but I don't think it's too far-fetched. And that game is Super Mario Bros. Wonder. It's released. It's out. Super Mario Bros. Wonder, a new side-scrolling Mario game. It released this week. Well, that was last week, so I missed a week. So it released on October 20th, 2023 for $59.99 on Nintendo Switch. The cool part about this is I actually bought this game through the Nintendo Switch game voucher promotion. So I dropped the $100, and it gives you 2 game vouchers, and I picked up Super Mario Bros. Wonder and Pikmin 4. So I have 2 great games. Saved $20 on buying them together, and very cool. It's the first time I've got to use that. So I wrote, oh, the savings. Oh, that savings feels so good. I played a little bit of Pikmin 4, but I've mainly been Super Mario Bros. Wondering. So that's been taking over my my Nintendo Switch right now. So I bought this through the Nintendo Switch game voucher promotion. I've really been loving this game. I really do think it could be on the top of my list. It's up there. It's going to be competing with Zelda and a few others for Game of the Year for me. This is a side-scrolling Mario. Wonder is the main thing here. There's a lot of wonderment. A lot of people are comparing this to, calling it the spiritual successor to Super Mario World. And then the wonder part is on each level there's a wonder seed. You can collect this seed and it changes the map in a certain way, in a crazy different way each time. So it adds all different mechanics and different platforming to it. Sometimes you can get a different perspective on the way the screen looks. So this is primarily a 2D side-scrolling Mario, but it does have some other areas that open up a little more like the 3D games. It's not as exploratory, but it does have other sections that like plays with physics and gravity and your perspective and your view and things like that. So it's definitely keeping it interesting. This entire game is keeping it interesting. I've been loving it. All the levels are cool. It's fun getting the Wonder Seeds. It's fun seeing the changes. There's new power-ups. You've seen Elephant Mario and all the pre-release stuff, and you get Elephant Mario in the first level, so I thought that was really cool. I was wondering if that would be something you'd have to build up to, but it was not. So, this game feels very confident in what it's doing, and it's doing it the whole way through. So I believe I'm on World 5 in this game. I think there's 6 worlds. There's a couple special worlds. And, there's a million different options on each world of things you can complete. There's different levels. They show you the different difficulty levels. It shows you how many Wonder Seeds are in each level. So the Wonder Seeds are the things you're trying to collect, and the levels are the main things you want to collect, I would say. And then the purple coins would be next because you can use those to buy different things. But you're really wanting to collect the Wonder Seeds because that's going to help you proceed forward. But it gives you a lot of options to get these Wonder Seeds through these levels. There's multiple ones and lots of levels. And then there's some shops where you just pull up on the shop and they're selling a Wonder Seed there for 100 purple coins. So I haven't really found too much difficulty in being able to make progress. Sometimes that's a complaint with me with these type of games where you have to collect the items in the level to be able to go further. And a lot of times I just like to play the levels and see what's going on and try to get to the end of them. But a lot of these games, the collection mechanic is an important part of it, and I think in this game it is a very important part because you get to see how the levels change after you get the Wonder Seed. So, or when you collect the Wonder Flower, it changes up the level all crazy. So it is worth seeing and very, very cool. I didn't write down the greatest thoughts on this game or any description of it, but I'm just going to kind of freestyle this a little more than I usually do. But this is a game you should go check it out. If you love Mario, you should buy this. If you love side-scrolling Mario, you should really buy this. You can play some co-op. There's some online stuff going on here. I haven't tried any of like the online co-op. I don't know if that's a thing, but they do have online ghost play, so you can see other people's like ghosts running on the map. I didn't really find that too useful or interesting, but I didn't really try it for too long, so it could be something I want to look into. Just check out just for interesting sake, if that's how you could say it. And let's see what else I've written down. The flowers talking. So there's these little flowers on the map. They're kind of akin to the dancing paratroopers that would do their little wah, 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 or whatever they would say. You guys probably know what I'm talking about, but the dancing guys in the other Mario game. But these flowers, you walk by them, they'll have little quips, they'll say little encouraging things, they'll say funny things to you, and I think they're one of the coolest parts of the game. A lot of times with side scroller games, I'm listening to a podcast or listening to music, and I've been doing that some with this game, but I've also been playing the game just listening to it because it is such a cool world, and listening to those flowers talk is really enjoyable, and I can't believe there's people out there not liking that, which is, there's people that dislike everything, and I shouldn't be shocked, or I'm not shocked by it, but it's crazy. It's just such a it's like a little comforting thing when you walk by them and they talk to you. It's like having an extra friend on the map almost. So I think it's really, really cool and a nice touch. And I think it's like cute, or I think it's just kind of fun. I like it. And the voice actor or actress for that role is doing a phenomenal job. So I meant to look up who it was, but either way, they're doing a great job. And I really think that's a cool little touch on the game. Of just adds a nice little touch of character to the running across the screen. Some more stuff about this game. Just really got some random jumbled thoughts here, but there's badges in this game, so this is a new thing. So there's normal power-ups like you can get. You hit the question mark block, you get a power-up. There's cool ones like the elephant. There's a drill one, a few different ones. Nothing too crazy. You're getting your fire Mario. You're getting your. There's one that shoots bubbles, but it's kind of like the same thing. But there's badges in this game, and there's probably, I don't know, there's a screen of more than 20, I would say, of badges, and they can do different things like giving you an extra time jump if you do 3 or 2. I think it's 2 or 3 in a row. The third one, you'll jump a little bit higher. One, you can jump and press R, and it gives you a little boost at the end of your jump. There's a parachute cap, so you can glide a little bit by just hitting R. And there's other ones that are like things like sensors, or can help you find coins, or help you survive a lava fall, I believe. So there's a million different badges, and you can ask for a recommendation when you start the level of which one to use, but you can also just experiment. And a lot of times I'm just going in. There's I have probably 4 or 5 that I like to use the most, but I have been relying on the recommendations a little bit more. But it just adds another wrinkle, another layer on the gameplay. So it's very fun, and it allows you to pick some of the ones you like a lot and just use those. But then you might have to use one you don't normally use to complete a level. And I think it's a really nice touch. I like the badges a whole lot in this game, and I think they are. I think they're in the makings of a possible game of the year with all these things combining. So I'm gonna go through some more of my thoughts here. Being able to walk around the world or just select on the menu is nice. So it has an overworld. It's just like a top-down view of a world like we've seen in Mario games before, where you can walk to the level and jump in the level. There's some few other things to walk around and do, or you can just go. It's just a little more of like a set piece for getting to the levels. But you can also just go to the menu and scroll the levels through there, like through tabs, basically. So I find that really enjoyable, because if you walk through a world and you possibly missed maybe you didn't go left, and there was 2 options to go left and right. Maybe you went left, forgot to go right. So you could just go to the menu, pull up the world 3 or whatever, and scroll through the levels in there. It has a great menu for that. It shows you how many Wonder Seeds you've collected, all the completionary stuff. It just shows you all the information you need on the menu. So it's very cool. But it also allows you can walk around the world if you want to as well. So I think that's really, really fun, and that's helped me with getting the Wonder Seeds that I need to progress. So, I was just walking through the world like I normally do. I got to a point where I needed a few more of those Wonder Seeds to keep moving. I think it was between World 4 to 5. And that's when I went to the menu, and I started going back through the backlog of levels, and was able to easily get up to the number of Wonder Seeds I needed. And that made me very happy in this game, because that's sometimes a little bit of a deterrent for me. So it helps out finding things to do if you're feeling stuck or in need of more Wonder Seeds. So I think that's a really, really, really great option. So there's plenty of stuff in this game. I think they were confident in that. So I think them giving you the menu option to do that, I don't know if they've done that before. I'm sure they have, but it just shows confidence that they have enough content in there, or they're not forcing you to walk around the world as part of the gameplay. They can just have you go from level to level in the menu and get right to what you're wanting to do in this game. And I salute them for that. So I'm on World 5 currently. There's 6 main worlds. World 5 is Fungi Mines. You could also have chosen to go to World 6, so you can choose between 5 and 6, I believe is what it is. 6 is like the scary molten rock lava looking area, so it looks a little bit scary. So I decided just to roll with the mines, but they actually kind of look scary too. But I've really been enjoying all these. I think World 3 is my favorite so far, with how it looks, with all the gold shimmering waterfalls and things like that. I think it was just really fun. But each area has unique style and flair, and I really love it. This game is amazing. And let's get into what else I've written down. So what else do I want to say about the game in general? Then I have some other thoughts and things I've heard across the internet this week about this game. I've been hearing I'd say overwhelmingly positive stuff about this game. I think it's pretty safe. Recommend across the board. Like, this game seems like a 90 or above for most people out of 100, and for some people it's really, really getting pretty high up there in the Mario talk. So very, very cool for a new release game. People are just playing it, just getting it, and really, really loving it. So another podcast I like following is the Nintendo Voice Chat, NVC. I listen to them every week, and they were talking about Jada on there was talking about what character you're maining. So in this game, you can play Mario, you can play Luigi, you can play Peach, and you can play the best main character in this game, Daisy. That's who I'm playing. And Jada was talking a whole mess of trash on NVC about Daisy mains and saying they weren't cool gamers. So I just wanted to shout out the Daisy mains here. She did bring up a good point that Rosalina should be in this game, and she says Rosalina is the number one princess, and I really do like Rosalina a whole lot, so I can't argue with that much. But I'm on a pretty big Daisy train right now, so the Daisy mains out there are very cool, and I want to shout out to you. So there's a bunch of different characters you can select from. I think that's very fun. Not playing this game as Mario so far does feel a little bit funny, but I could create a new file and play as Mario, or I could switch to Mario right now if I wanted to. So anything you can wonder, this game will allow you to do. All right, some more things Nintendo Voice Chat was talking about this week. They like to, oftentimes take a franchise or a subset of the franchise and rank them. I love doing some ranking. I've been working all year towards, my Dep Lewis Show Game of the Year list for 2023. I had a great Game of the Year list for 2022. It's the definitive Game of the Year list for the universe, of 2022, and I'm building the definitive list for the universe for 2023. And so, I love some ranking, and they were ranking the 2D Marios and the 3D Marios in the last few weeks. So that made me want to just get a list of my favorite 2D and 3D Marios and tell you about those. Because Mario is definitely one of my favorite franchises. And I like the 2D Marios and the 3D Marios probably pretty equally. I think if you had to make me choose one, and if I had to choose one forever, I'd maybe choose the 3Ds. But I really do love the 2Ds, and they're a great entry into your video game collection. So, my favorite 2D Marios of all time would probably be Super Mario Bros. 3. This would be if I had to argue and take my weapons in the battle. These would be my weapons. I don't know which one would ultimately win the battle, but these would be the weapons I would take. Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario World, and then New Super Mario Bros. 2. I played that on the 3DS, and then maybe Super Mario Bros. Wonder might already be up on this list. This game has been super enjoyable. I really have nothing negative to say about it. I really love the art style of it, and the power-ups, and the options, and the choices. And it's really just kind of unbelievable, and it's awesome. So 2D Mario's nothing, a million good games there. And then for 3D Mario's, it would be like Mario 64. That was more of a game that, my older cousins got. I remember when they got it on release day, and I was at their house a few days after and seeing them play it, and it was just amazing. And then Mario Sunshine, very nostalgic for that. That was one of the first games I got for my GameCube, and really, really loved that game there. And then Galaxy 1, Super Mario Galaxy 1 is probably my favorite Mario game of all time, and possibly it's up there for my favorite video game of all time as well. And then Galaxy 2, Super Mario 3D Land, played that on the 3DS as well. And then Mario Odyssey. So really, really a whole lot of great games there in the Mario franchise. There's probably a few that I'm missing that I could have added to my list that I would be like, oh yeah, I like that one too. But those are primarily the Mario games that I'm loving, and it's really, really cool to have gotten a new addition to the Mario love family of Super Mario Bros. Wonder. So please go check it out. I have a new video on YouTube and on Patreon. It's called of the Dep Lewis Shows Off series. So Dep Lewis Shows Off, insert video game name here. So this one I've done is Dep Lewis Shows Off Super Mario Bros. Wonder. So I believe it's around 24 minutes long. It's just 24 minutes of me playing through the game and talking over it some. So please go watch that if you want to see some gameplay, get some more thoughts, some random thoughts as I'm playing through the game about what's going on and how the game works, and just showing you around. So please go check out those Dep Lewis Shows Off Super Mario Bros. Wonder on YouTube and Patreon. I'm going to, part of my master plan here is to start creating those more often, especially when I get a new game. It's going to be something I'm going to do. So, just please be looking forward to more of that, along with some more streaming, and just going to try to add some more ammunition in the Dep Lewis Show arsenal here that I'm sending out to the world. And that's the plan. So that's one piece of the puzzle. So Super Mario Bros. Wonder, I've been loving it. Been the main game I've been playing for the last, 9 days. And I really love it. So you're going to hear some more about it. Possibly next week I could have completed the main game, and we will see. And that's going to be a pretty good accomplishment for me, since I've not been completing games, and I am now on a hot streak. I'm on a 1-game finish streak of Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. And another game, I planned this out. I think on the last episode I said, hey, I'm playing this game. I'm going to try to complete it next. And guess what? I'm getting pretty close. And that is Spider-Man Miles Morales. So there is a brand new Spider-Man game out right now that we're going to highlight and talk about in the midsection. But I'm going through my backlog a little bit and trying to complete some games that have shorter completion time. So give myself a little bit of an easier target of completing some games to get those under my belt, since I've been on a little bit of a drought. So I'm playing Spider-Man Miles Morales. This game released November 12, 2020. So it's been out for a couple years, and you can buy this on PS4, PS5 right now for $49.99. So buying the PS4 copy gives you a digital copy of, I guess digitally, this is all digitally talking, gives you the PS5 upgrade or whatever. So the backstory in this game is Miles Morales is adjusting to his new home while following in the footsteps of his mentor Peter Parker as a new Spider-Man. But when a fierce power struggle threatens to destroy his new home, the aspiring hero realizes that with great power, there must also come great responsibility. To save all of Marvel's New York, Miles must take up the mantle of Spider-Man and own it. And I love Miles as a character. He is a great character. I like his mom. I like Genki. I like Uncle Aaron. I like Finn. And then Krieger is a great enemy villain in this game. They're fighting over trying to get the new form. This game is just very fun. I played the Marvel Spider-Man 1 and completed that game and loved it. And a lot of the same things from that game I'm loving here. Plus, Miles, I think Miles is the coolest Spider-Man character there is. So I think that's been a huge plus for this game. And, playing as Miles is really fun. And I love this game. I love the swinging around. I love the combat. I love the story stuff. I love when you're in Miles' house and you can walk around and see the things. Or if you're in like the lab or something, you can go around the lab and look at some things. It gives you some cool little exploratory sections. And, I love the suits. That's a really cool thing. I'm rocking the Prowler suit right now, so I'm purple and green. And that was something I got from collecting all the sound bites on the map. So the collecting stuff in this game is fun. And, I just love it. And, you start upgrading your swing as you go through the game. So you're swinging faster, you're moving better. Like, everything in this game is done right. And I'm really having a lot of fun with this game. So I think I'm just a couple missions, like maybe 3 missions away from the end of the game. So hopefully I'll be completing this pretty soon and can talk about that and put a ribbon on it. But, loving the Spider-Man. I don't know if I'll, I got to finish this game first before talking about the next Spider-Man. But we're going to talk about the next Spider-Man game in the midsection of the show coming up in just a bit. So, be prepared for that. But Spider-Man Miles Morales, really, really loving it. Hopefully can add it to the collection of games I've completed, and that is the plan. So I'll give you some more updates on that next week. Okay, another game that I've been playing in the last few weeks has been Fortnite. I got some games in earlier in the week with 2 of my friends, so we were playing, some trios, and we got some chicken dinners. We got some victory royales. We got some top 5 finishes. We had a really great time, and my Rey skin has been going off. So I have Rey from Star Wars, and I have her backpack thing, and I have her Y item, the thing that smacks and smacks things on the map. And Fortnite's just been really fun. I just want to say it's a great multiplayer game, a great game to play with your friends. It's multi-platform. My 2 friends have Xboxes, so I was playing on Xbox, but I think the next time I play, I want to try it on my PlayStation to see how the party chat stuff does, and if there's any downside to doing that, because I've been playing my PlayStation more, so it would be cool to stick to one platform. Would be nice. But, either way, it's cool. You can have Fortnite on all your systems. You have all the amazing skins you can buy. The most recent skin on there I'm kind of been thinking about buying is Alan Wake. So there's a new Alan Wake game that's out. We're going to talk about that in the midsection as well. So, with that release, they've thrown Alan Wake into Fortnite, and it's the first time that the first time Alan Wake's been in Fortnite, and I really want to buy it. I've been looking at it for the last couple of days, but I don't know if I will. So we will see. I'll keep you updated on that. I didn't feel bad about buying a skin. If I'm going to play this game for free, it's cool to buy a skin, and it gives me some more enjoyment. I really do. I kind of do like cosmetic skins a whole lot, so just buying one wasn't a big deal. But going down the buying Alan Wake skin, then I'll just be buying everyone. But who knows? We'll see. That's a fun element of the game, is checking the store. So Fortnite's been really fun. I'll keep you updated on my playing, and I think that's all I have to say about the Fortnite. So those have been the main games I've been playing this week. I've also been playing some other things a little bit. I've really been trying to push to complete Spider-Man Miles Morales, but I've been playing some Ratchet and Clank 2016. So I started into that after Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. So I've still been making some progress there. And then 2 games I've kind of jumped back into this week, just like nosying around, is Horizon Forbidden West and Hogwarts Legacy. So these are both games I already owned and have played some of, and I just kind of jumped back into my files to see what was going on. So very, very fun. I don't know, if I'm going to keep progressing on some of these, but I'm just kind of realizing I'm probably not going to ever just be playing one game, but I need to have one game I'm trying to push towards. It seems like a good idea, and that's kind of what I've been trying to do, and what I will keep you updated on this Dep Lewis Show about my gaming habits, because that's this whole first section of the show. All right, so that's going to wrap up this first section of the show. Speaking of that, and we're going to take a quick break. You're going to hear wonderful music from friend of the show and friend in real life, Volness. And then we're going to come back for the mid-section of the show where we talk about the video game landscape, the video game world, what video game news, what video game releases, what video game things are going on I want to tell you about that I think are cool. So there's a good bit of that information today. I have a lot of new releases to talk about. This has been one of the hottest times for video games of the year. So there's a good bit to talk about of new releases, and that's what we're going to do. So please go take a quick break. Do whatever you need to do and come back and listen to the mid-section of Dep Lewis Show, episode 54 in just a few. Welcome back to the mid-section of the best show you'll ever know, the Dep Lewis Show. This is episode 54, and this is the mid-section where I talk about what I've been seeing across the video game landscape. So like video game news, video game releases, anything from the last, it's been 2 weeks since I talked to you that I want to tell you about. So we got a lot of new releases this week. It's the main thing we're going to talk about. And the first one I alluded to in the last section. I'm playing the previous game in this series, but a new release came out on October 20th, 2023, and that is Marvel's Spider-Man 2, and that's $69.99. So October 20th, $69.99, Marvel's Spider-Man 2 releases. Peter Parker and Miles Morales return for an exciting new adventure, developed by Insomniac, which is also the developer of Ratchet and Clank, Spyro, and Resistance. So Insomniac is really going up there as I'm really piecing these things together. It's probably one of my favorite developers. It's might be my favorite developer is what I'm thinking. Especially with my recent love of Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart and getting back into these Spider-Man games and wanting to play this new one. It could really be getting up there in contention with like Bethesda and Naughty Dog and maybe Bungie of old, or there's probably a few Guerrilla. There's a few other ones I really like as well. But Marvel Spider-Man 2 is released now. It's been getting very positive reviews. This one, you can play as Peter Parker or Miles Morales, which is cool. It's a little worrisome for me. I'm playing as Miles Morales right now in the second game and loving him as a character. I would maybe just like to play as him in the third game, but I think the two Spider-Man thing could be cool, and you can apparently switch back and forth between them, whenever you want to. And sometimes you'll be in the world flying as Miles, and the other Spider-Man will come through and be doing some things. So I think that does sound very cool. This game is something I'm sure I'll be playing at some point. I don't know if I'm going to get into it right after Spider-Man Miles Morales, but I've been hearing great things. There's all sorts of great footage on the internet about this game. I actually didn't write down any great notes about it, but I've been playing the previous game in the series, and this is something that I just want to play. I haven't been avoiding spoilers for it. But I just kind of know what to expect, so I haven't really been seeing too much. There's going to be a bunch of cool suits, that's one of the cool parts of this game, and the different collectibles, and I'm kind of just trying to save that in my mind for when I do play this game. I've seen some of the things, but I'm trying to not see it all. But there's a million different suits in this game. I think you can change the colors on them, so there's like some more customization things in this one, and just looking really cool. So go check out the Marvel Spider-Man 2. It's out now on PlayStation 5, $69.99. Okay, another game that has released just a couple days ago that is something I'm very interested in and is getting a lot of hype, and people are really loving this game more than expected, and that's Alan Wake 2. This released on October 27th, 2023 for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and Microsoft Windows. So this is a next-gen release, and I've heard it's a pretty beefy game on PC, so some pretty high standards, and the next-gen, I think the next gen is fully here, I would say. These games are really trying to push towards next gen. They're not trying to, a lot of these games coming out now aren't trying to, minimized themselves to fit on the prior gen, so they were really going for it, and I'm happy with that as an owner of the current gen, or the next gen, which is the current gen. So this game released and is $59.99 for the standard edition, and this game is developed by Remedy Entertainment, and their site says Alan Wake 2 marks Remedy Entertainment's first foray into the survival horror genre. Ritualistic murders in a small town, a writer trapped in a nightmare, an FBI agent looking for answers, 2 realities, 2 hero characters, 1 horror story that wants them dead. So that was kind of like the back of the box quote on this. So I've been hearing some pretty positive things about this game overall. Dan Reichert from Dan Reichert to the MinMax Show. All those people have been talking really, really positively about this game, and how much of a great surprise it is. Not that people didn't like Alan Wake 1, but a lot of people, it's been a long time since Alan Wake 1, and with that kind of gap in between it, sometimes it can be hit or miss, I would say. So I also watch Sarah Podjorski, Sarah Pods, stream some of this. And I don't know, I was thinking this game might be too scary for me to try, but I am getting some Last of Us vibes, definitely some Resident Evil vibes from it. And I really do like Alan Wake 1 a whole lot. I got made fun of by some of my friends for liking this game, which is a pretty funny memory, because they were laughing at me for liking a game where a flashlight was your weapon. But this game actually looks like you get some weaponry in it. So I don't know, I was really going to hold off on trying to get this, but the more recent footage I've seen and the way people have been talking about it has made me really want to jump into this and give it a try. It's kind of like the Baldur's Gate 3 argument for me a little bit right now. These games are overwhelmingly, people are being so positive about them, and can be in the Game of the Year contention talk for a large majority of people. So those are kind of things that I'm wanting to play more so. So I don't know. I will see. I will definitely keep you updated. But Alan Wake 2 is looking very cool. I would definitely say go check out some footage. Go check out some people on Twitch. Go check out some YouTube. Go check out Nextlander or MinMax, or watch somebody stream it. It looks really, really cool. Alan Wake 2, out now. Another game that's out now, and it's a collection of games, is the Metal Gear Solid Collection Volume 1. So this released on October 24th. It is $59.99 for PC, PS4, PS5, Switch, and Xbox Series X and S. So I don't think there's an Xbox One version of this. I tried to I did a little extra searching trying to figure that out, and I still think that's the case. So, just be mindful there. I kind of heard this game too is not running great on Switch. I don't know if I've heard that confirmed from multiple people, but I would just be a little bit wary of buying it on Switch. So if you're going to buy it on Switch, maybe go check around for some information on the internet about that. Sorry, I don't have that information for you, but that's what I would do if I was going to purchase this game. And I just kind of expected not to run too great on Switch, which is a little bit sad, but I don't know. I do have some interest in buying this game. I don't know if it's like a right away kind of purchase for me, but I could see this adding this collection to my collection at some point. The back of the box talk on this game, it says the origin of stealth action returns. Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1 unifies the beginning of Metal Gear gameplay experience in one single package. Infiltrate enemy fortresses all over the globe. Complete your missions with stealth and experience the thrilling cinematic story of the Metal Gear series. So this collection includes Metal Gear 1, 2, and 3, plus more. Each main title in the lineup will also include an exclusive digital screenplay book and master book that details the story and characters in that game. This collection includes the classic versions of the games, complete with only minimal edits to copyrighted content. So pretty cool. It's nice to get these, these classic games in one collection. I think it's a very great option for historical sake, and if you want to go back and play the start of the franchise, I think that's great. I don't know if I'm equipped with, in my brain and mentality to go back and play these games, but I do have some interest in this collection. I just don't know how much progress I would make. I've beat Metal Gear Solid 4. It's the only game I've completed in this series, and that's one of my favorite games of all time. So I do have a pretty good. I think I would love some more content of this series. So it's something I could get into in the future. So we will see. And I'm a little bit more excited for this next thing I want to tell you about, and the possible, future Metal Gear Solid Volume Collection 2. I would love to get, it'd be cool to get Metal Gear Solid 4 off the PS3, so I could either play it on my PlayStation or on my PS5 or my Xbox Series X. That would be very nice. And then also get some, 5 in that collection and whatever else. I guess there's the in-between game, or the prequel game between 4, 5, 2. They could throw that in there. So I would be a little more enticed to buy that collection from the jump, but this is something I have on my wish list, and I'll be looking at for sure. But there was also something this week. There was an Xbox partner preview. So Xbox showed off some games from some of their partners and some of their more recent partners, and they showed off Metal Gear Delta in this. So that looks very cool, and that's something I'm definitely interested in. So I watched Alana Pierce talk over this, Charlanazard. Go check out her channel. You can watch her talk over this Xbox partner preview. I find that's a good way to watch these things a lot of times. Find somebody you like and watch them talk over that. So maybe I'll be doing that here on the Dep Lewis Show one day. But Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is an upcoming action-adventure stealth video game developed and published by Konami. It is a remake of the 2004 game Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. So, go watch Alana's YouTube video on this partner preview, or go to Xbox channel and watch the partner preview yourself. It shows off Alan Wake. It showed off some Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, and some other things in there as well. But this Metal Gear Solid Delta footage is the main thing I was salivating over, and I think is really, really cool looking. And I think, if you're just thinking of it, I could save my money of not buying the collection and, put it towards buying Metal Gear Delta when it comes out. And I think that would be the choice I would make anyway. So that's how I'm going to kind of approach these things possibly in this one instance. And I'll probably change my mind on the next game. But that's how it goes. So that looks very cool. Metal Gear Solid Collection Volume 1 is out now, $59.99. Another game that's come out in the last 2 weeks since I've talked to you is Sonic Superstars. Another side-scroller, another entry into the side-scrolling genre. They got in there before 3 days before Super Mario Bros. Wonder. So a lot of people talk, do you want to release at the same time as a competitive game or a game of similar style? And some people say yes. You can get people in the store looking at the game at the same time, make you want to pick up both. And some people will say no, it'll cannibalize your sales. But the story really can only be told with the release and the quality of the game and the sales over time. But Sonic Superstars is out now. It released on 10/17 Brick Squad Day 2023 for $59.99 on Switch, PS5, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and Microsoft Windows. So it's on everything, and I'm actually hearing that the Switch version runs well. So this could be something I want to add to my Switch at some point. I think especially if it runs well on there, I think I would lean towards buying it on the Switch so I could play it in the handheld mode. But this is a platform game developed by Arzest and Sonic Team and published by Sega. It features side-scrolling gameplay similar to the Sonic the Hedgehog games released for the Sega Genesis in the 1990s. And the back of the box talk on this says, adventure through the mystical North Star Islands in this all-new take on classic 2D Sonic high-speed action platforming. Play as Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy Rose, one of my favorite new characters that I've learned about in the Sonic world. Love some Amy Rose. Played her in some Sonic Mania Plus. And harness all new Emerald powers to move and attack in dynamic new ways. Navigate gorgeous, never-before-seen environments solo or with up to 3 players. And stop Dr. Eggman, Fang, and a mysterious new adversary from converting the island's giant animals into badniks before it's too late. So I don't want to see those animals get converted into badniks. So, I might want to play this game. So it looks very cool. The art style is definitely different from, it's definitely a new take on the art style. So I would say go look, check out some footage and look at that. I would say I like it. I think it's cool. I like that you can play different characters. And this would be something I would be more intent on purchasing if Super Mario Bros. Wonder wasn't out right now. But hopefully I can cop this game at some point on a sale. It would be nice. And I have a lot of Sonic to play. I've never really completed a Sonic game. I own some already, so I don't think it's paramount that I own a new Sonic game, but looks very cool. If it was if I hit the lottery, I'd be buying this game for sure because it looks pretty cool. So Sonic Superstars out now on a whole bunch of different platforms, and I heard it even runs well on the Switch. So that was the summary there. Okay, speaking of Switch, hey, gonna segue right into this. Dave the Diver is a new game out on Nintendo Switch. So Dave the Diver's initial release date was about a year ago, 10/27/2022, but is now on Switch, Nintendo Switch, as of October 26, 2023. So it's now on Switch, Mac OS, Microsoft Windows, and Mac operating systems. So this game is $19.99. I actually watched Jeffem from MinMax on Twitch playing this. He was playing on the MinMax Twitch channel, and it did seem cool. And I think he was surprised that about how much he was liking it too. So, and he was surprised about the gun being so prevalent, and so was I. So it looked very cool. I like the price is $20. I think that's a very fair price for a video game, especially this one's so critically acclaimed, and a lot of people have been loving. This has been like a great Steam Deck game for a lot of people. So this is an adventure video game developed and published by Mint Rocket. Player controls Dave, a hardworking diver, as he collects fish, solves quests, and manages a sushi restaurant. So it has elements of management, action, adventure, and role-playing video games. So something I was comparing this to in my mind of recent note is Cult of the Lamb. So you have kind of like a home or home base kind of thing, which was your cult and Cult of the Lamb. You're building the houses, you're feeding people, you're giving them places to sleep, you're tilling the land. And then this one, your area like that's a sushi restaurant. So you're out there in the sea or in the water, hunting these fish, shooting them with shotguns and such, and bringing them back to your sushi restaurant and serving them up at night. And it's tracking your process or tracking your progress and your followers and your profits, and it gives you like a summary, like you're basically trying to run a podcast out here. So very cool. The $20 price tag is very enticing. I think I have like $7 in Nintendo bucks already, or Nintendo coins. So maybe I should just pick up Dave the Diver and try it out, because it's looking very cool. And I've just only heard such good things about it. The only turn off for me, and it's just it's just the water thing. I just it's a whole game. Most of the game is underwater, and that just kind of scares me. But it seemingly has to control very well if this many people are loving it, would be my guess. So I don't know, but go try it out and tell me about it. DepLewisShow@gmail.com. Dave the Diver. Go check out some Dave the Diver. All right, so that's all for the new releases for this week. So that was a whole bunch of new releases, and there's probably been some other ones in there as well, but these have been the ones that I'm most interested in and want to tell you about here on the Dep Lewis Show, episode 54. So the next thing I want to tell you about is something that's going on right now. It is related to the best video game of 2022, and that is Splatoon 3. There is a new Splatfest going on. It is the which would be the best friend? If you had to have a best friend out of this group, which would it be? Would it be a zombie? Would it be a skeleton? Or would it be a ghost? And I usually pick the team on the show, but I've been playing some of this Splatfest already this weekend, and I am Team Ghost. So Ghost Squad, turn up. If you're listening to this podcast in real time, it's 10:54 a.m. Eastern in the United States. So this podcast will probably be out within an hour. And there's going to be some time of the Splatfest left. So it ends at 5 p.m. Pacific time today. So it ends today, October 29th, the Splatfest does. Last time I checked last time I got the update on the scores, the Ghost Squad was in the lead. So I have a pretty good record. I have a winning record in Splatfest. I think it's, I'm a little bit over 500. So this will be a nice boost. I missed the last one, and I played Friday. I played some games Saturday. Not a whole lot of games, but I love Splatoon 3, and it's been fun to get back into it some. And the Splatfest are the best chance to get back into it. They're every couple months, and it's just for a weekend, and you get extra cool things in the game, add some fun flair and style to the game, and it's really the best time to get back in there and play. So, if I have some time today, I'm going to play some more games, and I'm going to keep having Splatoon 3 in my rotation a little bit and playing some games here or there. I should have mentioned that in the first section, but as a little shout out, but I knew I was going to talk about it here at least. So, go play the Splatfest right now. Zombie, skeleton, or ghost. Dep Lewis Show's Team Ghost Squad over here. So let's go Ghost, and let's spook it up over there for this spooky season. And I'm going to use a word in this next section that I'm not a fan of, but it's a word that is said a lot, and it's related to spooky. So Vampire Survivors, another great game that released in 2022. It also released on Nintendo Switch this year, and I've been playing a lot of that. So, Vampire Survivors, shout out. It's going to be on the honorable mentions for Dep Lewis Show Game of the Year for 2023 at least. And Vampire Survivors has a new update called the Whiteout Update, and it's out right now is what they said. So pretty good punnery, so I appreciate that. It's patch volume 1.7, the chilling one. You get a spoopy, and that's the word I got a problem with, spoopy. I hear that all the time. I get what it means. Oh man, it's just not spooky though, but spoopy. I'll keep saying it, spoopy. Get spoopy. Just a weird word. It just sounds weird to me. Get spoopy with a chill new stage, character, weapon, and more. And yes, that also means new achievements. Here we go again. So out white now, the Whiteout Update. So Vampire Survivors is very good about having these new updates that come out from time to time. They're pumping new content in this game continuously. I just want to say, go play Vampire Survivors. It's a game that's only $1.99 or $3 for the base game, and it has some cheap, some inexpensive DLC options as well for under a couple dollars. So, and it's a great Switch game. It's a great Steam Deck game. It's a great game to play on your TV or Xbox or it's not on PlayStation, but or on your Xbox. It's on Game Pass. I can't say enough about Vampire Survivors. Mr. Ponkel, the developer of the game, everybody on his team, he was a one-man show, and then he grew into a multi-person effort for his massively successful video game. So Vampire Survivors, please go check it out. That's what the video game industry is all about, and very, very cool. The new Whiteout update is out right now. So that's going to wrap up the midsection of this show for today. We talked about a lot of new releases. We talked about Marvel's Spider-Man 2. We talked about Alan Wake 2. We talked about Metal Gear Solid Volume 1, Metal Gear Solid Collection Volume 1, Sonic Superstars, Dave the Diver on Switch, and all those games are out right now. So go check out all those games on the stores. Splatoon 3 has a Splatfest going on right now, so if you listen to this podcast in real time, there should be a couple hours left in the day to play this. So go check out the Splatfest and rock for Ghost Squad, Team Ghost. And then Vampire Survivors has a new update out now if you're playing Vampire Survivors or if you want to get into it. So that's going to wrap up the midsection of the show. We're going to come back for one last section, the Miscellaneous Talk section, where I can talk about anything I want to outside of video games. And the Miscellaneous Talk section is going to focus on sports like it usually does. So I have a couple different teams I want to talk about there. And that is the plan. So, take this time, just want to thank you for being a listener. Hope you're enjoying the podcast so far. If you have any feedback or questions for any episodes, DepLewisShow@gmail.com. And just want to try to get better at, going off my script or going on my script and then going off my script a bit. So, going off the script a little bit right here. Just want to say, tell you some things to do before your break. What do I want to do? I want to make some coffee. I need to eat some breakfast after this. I'm going to watch the Panthers today. Got to clean my place up a little bit. So, it's Sunday. I work a normal job, so I'm getting back to that tomorrow. I actually have a short week, so it's going to be pretty fun. I should be able to play a lot of video games later in the week and have a lot to talk about. So, that's what I wish for you. I hope you go have some vacation this week. Hope you have some time off work. Hope you get some money you didn't expect. And, that's just what I want to wish you here in this end of the midsection. So we'll be back in just a second. You're going to hear some more music from friend of the show and friend in real life Volness. And then we're going to talk about some sports because that's the Miscellaneous Talk section coming up in just a few. Welcome back to the final section of the best show you'll ever know, the Miscellaneous Talk section of the Dep Lewis Show, where I can talk about anything I want to outside of video games. And we just got some sports talk for you today. So we're going to get into the worldwide world of sports. Talk about the official NFL team of the Dep Lewis Show, the Carolina Panthers. It's been 2 weeks since I talked to you. The Panthers had a bye last week, so the Dep Lewis Show took a bye as well to stand in solidarity with my boys. Taking a bye, getting a rest, recouping, getting ready to come back and be better than ever. But the game before the bye was at the Dolphins. It was a 1:00 game. The Panthers scored in the first quarter, so that was a plus. Thielen took them down, then Chuba scored. But they ended up losing to the Dolphins. The Dolphins' offense was too powerful. They put up 35 unanswered points, I think, after the Panthers went up 14-0. So the Panthers really were shocking the world, being up 14-0, looking incredible, looking efficient, scoring the football. But then the Dolphins, woke up apparently and just kind of ended the game. And the second half wasn't competitive at all. Johnny Hecker headbutted someone. There were some injuries in this. TMJ had a pretty bad drop. There was a defensive touchdown from the Panthers, which was nice. So Troy Hill had the pick. Bryce was taking a whole lot of sacks for a lot of yards. Chuba Hubbard played a good game, though. 19 carries for 88 yards and a tud. And then Thielen had 11 catches for 115 yards and a tud. So, some good offense, but it was all early in the game. And then it was all just kind of catch-up garbage time offense at the end of the game. So the Dolphins was a tall order. They're, one of the better teams in the NFL. And the Panthers are one of the not better teams in the NFL. So the Panthers have been on a bye week. I wrote any bye week happening. So Frank Reich has handed over play calling to Thomas Brown, the offensive coordinator. So that's something we're going to see on display today. If you're listening in real time, October 29th, 2023, the Panthers are playing the Texans at home in Charlotte today at 1 o'clock, so 1 p.m. Eastern. And Thomas Brown is going to be doing the play calling, so it'll be interesting to watch how the offense is different, being called by Thomas. And Burns hurt his elbow in practice, but he's going to be playing, so that is good news. There's been, a lot of trade talk. The trade deadline is next week, I believe, and there's been a lot of trade talk about, Panthers players getting moved There's also been some recent articles about Burns being off limits, so I think that is great. And I'd like to get back to my extend Brian Burns demands here on the Dep Lewis Show. I was giving it up for a few weeks during the the losing streak, but I still think we should pay him. I still think we need to have somebody on our team of his caliber if we're going to have any chance of success. I don't think you pay him, the highest contract for an edge rusher. If he's going to want that, then I really think it is a conversation. But I think you pay him something crazy, something very competitive. Give him the security, give him the big bag, and I'm back towards it. Extend Brian Burns, give him that extendo, and he's going to play today, and I'm really happy about that. And I'm kind of hoping, he's the only one I really don't want to see get traded. They're talking about Dante Jackson getting traded. I would be sad to see D-Jack go, but it wouldn't be like Burns. And I don't know. I'll be interested to see if anybody gets traded before next week. I don't think the Panthers should be picking up anybody unless we can get a really good wide receiver somehow. And I don't know if it's going to be Jerry Jeudy after what Steve Smith said about him. But I just want to say Steve Smith, just at this part here, Panthers legend Steve Smith Sr., he did really great on the Pat McAfee Show live in Utah for game day. So it was on Friday. They were doing it live from the game day set, and he was just really good up there. And he's enjoyable to watch. He was out there repping his Utah Utes, and he has the Cut To It podcast, and he's always an interesting watch and listen. So go check out Steve Smith Sr., an absolute dog for the Carolina Panthers. Panthers legend right there, Mr. Steve Smith. So the Panthers are handing over their play calling to the OC. They're playing the Texans today, if you're listening in real time, at home in Carolina. And then next week is at home versus the Colts. So I don't think I'm going to the game today. I might possibly go see them play the Colts next week. I think it's going to be the Gardner Minshew show, so I don't know if that's too enticing, but could be some inexpensive tickets possibly. Hopefully the Panthers are going to get a win today. I think that's my prediction. I think they're going to get a win, and as I think about it now, I should be going to the game to see that, but I'm going to watch this from the comfort of my home on the television and really hope the Panthers can get a win, and I'm going to watch them closely and see what's going on with these Panthers. And I want Brian Burns to have a big day, and I think the Panthers are due for a win, and I think it's going to be today. That's what I'm saying. I'm really respecting C.J. Stroud out here. I have him in fantasy. I'm not going to play him today because I don't usually play players to play the Panthers, which isn't really too smart for a fantasy football. But, hey, I can't be. I'm going against my guys out here. So the Panthers against the Texans today. I'm going to predict it. They're going to get the win at 1 o'clock Eastern, and going to be a great day for the Panthers. So that's my prediction here. Go Panthers. It's been a lot of down talk in the last couple of weeks. Even got down on the Burns extendo, but I'm back on the extendo. Extend Burns. Panthers going to get a win today. I don't think it's going to be a successful season, but I want to see a few wins at least, and they need one today. So let's make it happen. Bryce Young, let's get the Panthers a dub. Let's do it. All right, another thing. We'll talk about some Charlotte stuff, some Carolina stuff. One of the official teams. Well, this is kind of tricky. The Atlanta Hawks have been the official team of the Dep Lewis Show for a long time. I moved to North Carolina earlier in the year, so I've been to some Hornets games now. So I think I have 2 official NBA teams of the Dep Lewis Show. And I actually saw them play each other last week in person. So how good is that? So I went to the opening night Hornets game versus the Hawks, and the Hornets won. I ended up wearing a Hornets t-shirt that I have there, and I actually got a new t-shirt there. They gave me a free t-shirt when I walked through the door. They were handing out these cool, nice white t-shirts. So shout out to the Hornets for doing that. It was an extra large, so it actually fit. And I couldn't be happier. I actually wore that shirt for a couple days because I was liking it so much. But it was really cool to see, Trae Young in person and see the Hawks. That was really fun. And it was fun to see Brandon Miller on the Hornets. And it's been fun to see him doing well in the couple games after. So, they played the Pistons Friday night in Charlotte, and they played the Nets tomorrow as one. And then I saw the Hawks lost to the Knicks the other night. So I need to get a little bit better breakdown for my NBA talk going forward, since this miscellaneous talk section will have some NBA talk going forward, following the Hornets and the Hawks mostly. But I need to kind of break them up and talk about them separately. But I did see them play each other last week. I'm going to try to go to, I think they play one more time in Charlotte, so I'm going to try to go to that for sure. And I'll be going to some random Hornets games throughout the year. Their tickets are pretty inexpensive and fun to go to, and just depending on when I'm free and who I want to see and things like that, I'll be reporting back to you on those games. But go Hornets, go Hawks, and I think that's all I have there for the NBA talk. I've been watching some other NBA. Been checking out from Mr. Wembanyama. Mr. Wemby. He's been fun to watch, and it's just cool to have another sport going. Because the official team of the Dep Lewis Show, the Atlanta Braves, are in postseason mode. So I wrote any postseason things to talk about. I want them to extend Max Fried. That's another one I'm going to start championing on this podcast weekly now until it happens. They extend Max Fried. I really don't want to see him go to another team. I think the Braves should give him a big bag of money, and that's it. Pay Max Fried. I'm going to say pay Brian Burns and pay Max Fried. That's what I want to say in these sections of this show. Braves did sign a reliever. Pierce Johnson, I think was his name. He was that guy they acquired last year. They signed him to a 2-year deal. I believe that's all true on this, but that was their first kind of off-season move I've seen them make was sign a reliever to a 2-year deal. The Rangers and the Snakes are in the World Series right now, so I'm going for the Rangers. It started Friday night. The Rangers with an epic comeback win with the Seager bomb and then a Adolis bomb, so pretty amazing. My friend of the show, Pab, and friend in real life, lives in Texas, so that's how I went out to visit him to see those games against the Braves earlier in the year. So I'm a secondary Texas Rangers fan, and definitely a Texas Rangers fan in the AL. So it's pretty cool that if the Braves aren't in it, it's cool that the Rangers are still going, and it's added some extra fun to the baseball season for me because it was pretty disappointing with the Braves losing, and always a little bit of sadness after that. After you watch all 162 and then have a quick playoff exit, it's just sad news, especially if you love the baseball as much as I do. So it's been fun to be able to really enjoy the World Series a whole lot through watching the Rangers, and the Rangers lost last night, so the Snakes, I even like them too. I've been a Ketel Marte fan for a good while, and I like a lot of their other players. I had Merrill Kelly in fantasy baseball. That was really cool, and I think they're a fun team. I'm not going to be upset if they win, but I definitely am going for the Rangers. But I think it's a great World Series. I'm glad we're not watching the Phillies. I'm sorry, Philly fans out there. They they had the lead against the Snakes, and the Snakes really bit back and got into the World Series. So pretty cool. Love some baseball. I don't know if there's a game today, but I'm going to primarily be watching football, and I'll definitely be watching the World Series as it goes. So just wanted to talk about that some too, since the Braves aren't still playing. But I'll definitely keep you updated on Braves off-season news. I'll save this spot for them every week to at least say extend Max Fried, but I'm sure there'll be a lot of speculation and probably some signings and some things like that happening. So, we'll be talking about the Braves all off-season here in the Miscellaneous Talk section. So, just a lot of sports talk here on the Dep Lewis Show. Got a lot of official teams. And just so you know, I'm going to break it down for you. The official sports team of the Dep Lewis Show is the Atlanta Braves, and the official sport of the Dep Lewis Show is Major League Baseball. But then we have the official NFL team of the Dep Lewis Show is the Carolina Panthers. And then we have the official NBA teams of the Dep Lewis Show, and that's the Atlanta Hawks and the Charlotte Hornets. So, have a whole great litany of teams here, all really, really wonderful franchises with great players and fun to follow, and hopefully you can get some enjoyment out of them too, even if you're not a fan of any of these teams. Hopefully you can get some secondhand enjoyment. You can get some ancillary information about sports in general. And, maybe I'm talking about your team. Maybe like you're a Dolphins fan and I'm talking about your team putting up 35 points unanswered. So, hopefully you can get some enjoyment if you're a sports fan from the sports talk. So that is going to wrap up the Miscellaneous Talk section for you today. All I had for you was some sports talk, but, love some sports, and the Miscellaneous Talk section, I can talk about whatever I want to outside of video games. So that's what I did. And this has been episode 54. So just thank you for listening as always. That's going to wrap up this final section. That's going to wrap up the show. So let me reiterate some stuff from the beginning of the show, please, to help out the show with numbers and analytics and things like that, and helping the show grow, which I would love it to do. Please follow Dep Lewis Show everywhere. Like, subscribe, rate, comment, review. Turn on notifications, tell a friend. Email any questions or feedback to DepLewisShow@gmail.com. Full episodes of Dep Lewis Show on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google, YouTube, Patreon, and more on my Buzzsprout page. So basically anywhere podcasts are available. Clips are on YouTube and TikTok. Twitch.tv/DepLewisShow is a great place to follow. And the ultimate place to follow is Patreon.com/DepLewisShow. I tried to condense my little sales pitch on the Patreon here, so I'm going to read that for you this week. It's $1 a month for the ground floor tier. There's a general support tier for the show on Patreon.com/DepLewisShow. You also get ad-free versions of Dep Lewis Show's off-series and other content, so that's a good plus of being a subscriber to Patreon. You can get you can get the videos without ads. I forget what I was gonna say, like mainline. You're gonna get it right to I don't know what I was gonna say, but Dep Lewis shows off series on there, and I just added Super Mario Bros. Wonder to that list, so that's pretty cool. This is for the first 100 subscribers only, and the price will never change. You will have access to all tiers of Dep Lewis Show Patreon content always. This is an investment for your entertainment future. So after the first 100 patrons, I will add Patreon exclusive content into the weekly rotation. So that's something to look forward to. And then I will create a regular price tier for the patrons past 100. So please help get the show there, and just thank you so much. Patreon.com is just where I'm trying to funnel people to if you just want to support, if you enjoy the show, if you have a little bit of extra cash and want to put it towards the show each month to help me, keep the lights on in this building and then keep the video games running. That's the whole plan around here, and to keep playing these games. But either way, I'm going to keep doing it myself, and I'm going to keep telling you my video game thoughts and all the best video game thoughts, or all the best video game news from across the video game world each week. That's the whole plan of this show. So just thank you as always for listening. Hope you have a wonderful week out there. Hope you play some games. I hope some of your sports teams and stuff and followings are going well. Hope some other good stuff happens in your life. Hope you have some good job-related things. Hope you have some good personal life-related things. Hope you make a lot of money. Hope you have some fun. Hope you eat something good. I hope you hit a scratch off. I hope you win a parlay. I just hope you have a great week, and just thank you as always for listening to the show. I'm very thankful to be back here recording after the bye week, episode 54, and then I'll be back next week for episode 55. Thank you as always for listening to the Dep Lewis Show, and I will see you next week and be back to talk about all the video games and much more. So see you then.